Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. It's Maggie from Moon Directed. Welcome to my channel. Here we work with the energy of the moon to see how we can best utilize it to move our life forward in the most positive way possible. This is your monthly reading, though, for the season of Aries, which is March 19th through April 18th. And then we will be getting into your sign of Taurus next. This is your 12th house. Where you plant the seeds of your dreams and your goals and you figure things out. And so I want to thank you so much for connecting with me. I did get a vision for you today, and I'm going to get into that in just a moment, but I want to encourage you to leave me a comment or an emoji or something so that we connect energy. Hitting that thumbs up, sharing this video. It does help grow my channel, but right now I am more concerned with being able to connect into your energy so that I can actually help. This feels really important to me, and so I would appreciate your help in connecting with me so that we can have this shared energy. So I sat down this morning to get into Aries energy. I was going to go through like I usually do and get a vision for everybody before I started. And the vision for Aries was pretty interesting. And then I heard this is actually for the collective. And I'm like, what? So I'm going to tell you what that was. And then when I went to sit down to get into your energy to pull cards for you, because they also directed me to pull cards before I came on, and then I will do some for here. I saw a part of that vision that was really highlighted. So let's get into that. What I saw as the collective vision was standing there looking out into like a field mountain. There's mountains and there's a stream, and so was the out into the world. But through the doorway of a twig house, I saw the twigs like in an arch, like leaning against each other, and all of a sudden they fell down. And looking around and standing in the middle of rubble, but realizing that they were only twigs and it wasn't sturdy enough, and that's probably why it fell down. There was an assessing moment. And then going down down the little hill to the stream and scooping up clay and putting it into a bucket, and then taking it back up and using the clay to mix with the sticks that were still viable to build a house made now of sticks and clay, which would be sturdier. But when I went into the vision to get ready for you, it was focused on being down there at the river. I felt the mud, the clay mud between my toes, my hands down in the water, with the water and the mud. It was I felt the breeze blowing, and it was very much into my senses, very much aware of the sensation of where I was. I could feel the warmth of the morning sun on my back, and I was staring at my reflection in the water. So there was a very heightened awareness of where I was right in that moment and what I was doing. So then I pulled cards from you from the 3 decks I was directed to do that from this morning. This is a very unusual situation, but I think it's because we're in a very unusual time. So what I got for you was you got the insight card. So it says, recognize the higher truth beyond apparent limits, honor the path you have walked so far, and all you have become, know yourself. And so that reflecting, that looking down into the water, that being aware, fully aware of who you are, you also received with that the physical health card. And the physical health card is about accepting who you are again, but physically who you are. And if there are places in your area, in your life, in the physical, that you can create balance, so checking your diet and exercise. And I really want to encourage you, if you have time and you can fit it in, to go for walks. It's very grounding. It's very good, healthy for your health. Most physical situations allow you to walk for health. And so I want to encourage that, but I want to encourage you to love all the parts of you. Be aware of who you are and how you got there, and start moving forward that way. The rest of your cards, though, wow, what a story. Okay, so that insight card, knowing yourself, you have the Holy Mountain. So the Holy Mountain, I actually have to show you all these together because they all tell a story, but they tell the same story. You have truth, but look, he's pulling a mask off, and I don't know if you can see it in this light. There is a rainbow. So when he takes the mask off, there's a rainbow that moves from his face out to the mask. So there's this rainbow energy here. Okay? So this is truth. And then look at this. You got the wolf, which is called reflection, and he's standing there staring into the water. And you have the arrow. And the arrow is about aligning your heart and your soul. When you do that, then you're on target. And so the Holy Mountain, well, the Holy Mountain is the sacred pilgrimage to acquire your vision, your perspective, your truth. And the wolf says to separate your thoughts and feelings from the people around you. This is taking a time out, and the whole world is kind of taking a time out right now. Stepping back from a situation, removing yourself from the influence of others, going to your own holy mountain to reveal your own truth to your own self of what puts your heart in alignment with your soul, who you are and what you're doing. You also received the Wind card. The Wind card. And so the Wind card talks about if it's from the south, north, east, or west, which one are you? But based on your cards, I know which one it is. The wind's blowing in from the west. And so I want to encourage you that when you sit in meditation, that you sit facing the west. Oh, and calling Kuan Yin from the west. Lovely. She is full of self-compassion. She teaches self-compassion and love and nurturing of self. And so you have that physical body, which is about nurturing and caring for yourself too. But this says the west wind is calling you to be more introspective, to a willingness to make a final decision, to let go of attachment and ego desires. And there was another one, I think it's the truth one, that speaks about letting go of ego desires. I kind of think the reflection one did too. So that term, ego desires. So this is where you get out of your own way, where you stop worrying about what other people think, what their opinion of you is, what they think is successful, and instead what makes you feel successful, aligning your heart with your soul, because then you're on target. That's when you get to where you need to go, and then you had this card. And if that doesn't look hopeful, I don't know what does. Okay, so this is, I want you to take a look at that and see what color sticks out to you right away. Like what color calls you. Pick the color that really calls you. Okay? So there's the pink and the purple, there's white, there's blue, there's red, there's orange, there's purple. Which one really attracts you? Look in the comments below, because I'm going to tell you each of them represent a different thing, but because you're an earth sign, I'm going to cover that one. The pink and the purple are the grounding nature, the practical life cycles, and the balancing and harmony, but they go through all the different elements, and depending on what else is in your chart, one of them might have called you that wasn't that, okay? So the rainbow, it says floating within the golden ascension rays, the rainbow dragon is making you aware of what is required for you to act in truth and honesty. Bringing the vibration from the golden ray, the rainbow dragon opens communication to your higher self, the central sun, and the angelic and ascended master realms, while centering you in the present. So being really present, getting in connection with yourself, shutting out all those people, the noise of the world and their expectations that shouldn't mean crap to you, to be honest. I'm not sick. I'm choked up. I had a really intense meditation today. So, it had me in tears earlier. It was pretty intense. But here's what I'm going to tell you. What other people think about you is none of your business. I know I've said that to you before, But unless you really believe that, unless you can really integrate that into who you are, unless you can really get centered and really honest with yourself about who you are, what it is you really want, what equals happiness to you. Tauruses chase material success. And you're really good at creating material success. But I think there's an insecurity that comes with it, because I think there's a sense of, well, if I'm not materially successful, then nobody thinks I'm worthy. And that's bull crap. Pardon the pun. But it is. That's not true. Who you are as a soul is what matters. That is what counts. When you can disengage, and I'm not saying that don't make money and don't be successful. I'm saying don't invest your self-worth and self-esteem into your financial resources, into the appearance of wealth. Because that's not, in the end, what really matters. What really matters is the happiness that comes in your heart, the joy, the inner joy, the peace that comes from loving all the parts of you and accepting that, you know, not everybody's going to get you. It doesn't matter. You need to get yourself. You need to value yourself. You need to find people in your life that nurture and support you and your dreams. It's 12 o'clock. Okay, so you need to do these things for yourself, because they're important, because you're important. And when you find that happiness within, when you find you let go of your fear of failure, that's when you find success. Okay, overall energy is this conflict. I think this is the inner storm that's going on within you. I think there's a lot of nervousness, financial markets doing what they're doing, situation shutting down like it is. I can see how very stressful that is for the majority of the world. I need to close this notification. The notification wasn't that it was 12 o'clock, but there was a reader that was doing a live video at 12, and it just popped up. Okay, so this is the 9-card spread. If you've never been here before, this is for the Aries season. Past, present, future, thoughts, feelings, actions. This is the key to the situation. What is it that you need to do? There you go. You need to tap into what brings you the joy in your heart space. Remember, this is in the heart space. This is in the feelings. And the key to the situation is joy is fun. What makes your life feel like it's a carnival? What brings the joy into your life? What is your true sense of self-worth and self-happiness? It comes from loving who you are and where you are in life and not worrying about the opinions of others. It is about having fun in the everyday. That's the key to the situation. In the recent past, you've been struggling with this creative self-expression. Like an idea or a project or a dream or something that you were trying to express, trying to create something, but not having enough information. Because this is in the realm of information coming in. It's thoughts. It's where you're trying to bring in the information so you know what to do, so you know how to handle things. In the recent past, you've been worried about how to increase. Look at all those precious stones. How to increase your wealth, how to increase your life. Because these are also the stones of the chakra. And so how do you bring increased joy and happiness and centeredness into your heart space? And so for once, this isn't about money, and I'm really kind of excited about this. So there's this anxiety over how to create this emotional balance, this increase in connecting with all of who you are and knowing who you are. And the obstacle has been what other people think about you. You have the honoring path. This is the accolades, but it's in the area of in the past, what has been the obstacle? And either you've been seeking the approval of others, you've been needing the approval of others, you've been desiring the approval of others in order to feel successful. But honestly, if what you really want is emotional balance and joy, fun in your life, you have to let go of this caring about whether or not people are applauding you in your success. Who frickin' cares what they think? How do you feel? Happiness doesn't come from what other people bring to your life. Happiness comes from within, and it shines outward. It is like a lighthouse that shines its light out into the darkness. How do you transform your life? It is in the people, and it is in the connections that you have currently going on in your life. It says here, new supportive connections. What did we say? And when I say we, today I got to tell you, when I'm talking, the words are not mine at all. You need new supportive connections in your life, people who love you and accept you and support you for where you are right now, and also understand and love all of you, the good, the bad, the ugly. The people who truly support and love you, that is what you are. So there are probably people in your life like that maybe you need to reconnect with, spend more time with. A lot of times I find Tauruses are so busy chasing financial success that they neglect their home life. Do you need to spend more time now that we've been given this gift of time? This social distancing, which is really physical distancing, because you shouldn't be socially distancing. You should be socially reconnecting with the people in your life that really matter to you. Those new supportive connections that you are making right now to help bring around the joy and the fun in life. Maybe you can't spend time with these people in the physical way because maybe you're reconnecting with friends you haven't spoken to in a long time. Maybe your parents live somewhere else and you don't see them very often, and now you can't because it's risky, but pick up the phone and call them every day. Reconnect. You can reconnect through Skype, through Facebook chat. There's lots of ways you can do that. Got the book? I'm going to have to go to the book. Okay, good. All right, so what do you need to do right now? You need to turn and face your fears. Oh my gosh, one of them said that too. One of them said that. I wrote it down. Oh, the wind. The wind says, have the courage to turn and face your fears. And look, you can see the wind blowing. But it's blowing against her back. Turn around, face your fears. And then we have the Ascended Masters, because I was like, what can they do about this fear? Because that card flipped up, so I knew I needed to take another one for that. And so when the Ascended Masters is in the upright position, I don't think it matters. What is it, 7? Oh, purple 7. I had to color code these because I can't figure this out. We do what we have to do. That cycle. Where's this one? Spirit. In the upright. Okay. Here's who's represented. Oh, okay. So basically they represent like most of the major religions. We've got Jesus, Buddha. No, it doesn't mostly. So we have Jesus, Buddha. I'm sorry if this doesn't represent. It really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter what you believe in, where your thoughts are, or if you kind of step back. But we have the Hilaron. The Hilaron represents the librarian to your Akashic records. Saint Germain, also a good way to tap into your past lives, your higher self, your innate knowledge. And so when you turn to face your fears, asking for help from these sources of light, the golden light that was that rainbow dragon, that golden light right there, that is the Christ light. That is the Christed light, and that is the same light that Buddha and Christ both share, that golden light energy. And so from this golden ray here, this dragon is coming to help you face your fears, to connect with your inner desires and who you are and what it is that you really want out of life, and what really brings you the joy and the contentment to help you to be who you are. And so here we go. You are thinking about your family in the future. And so that is that reconnection process. That is that reset button. I was telling Aries, it feels like, when the computer is running slow, flow, and it's because all the, I don't know, the electrons kind of build up or whatever, and it kind of slows everything down. And obviously you can tell I'm not a tech person, but that was the way it was explained to me, that when you unplug it, it allows some of that static caused by the buildup of electrons to flow out of it. And then when you plug it back in, it runs faster and smoother again. That's that reset. And it's only like 10 minutes, right, that you have to do that for before you can plug back in. 10 minutes. It's a short break. So taking this time to create these new supportive connections with your family, and family is not necessarily your blood family. There are people that are family to us because they're our soul family. Because when we meet them, we just know. We just know. You need to face your fears, and you need to get truth and straight with who you are. Because here we have in the heart space deception and people talking about you behind your back and whispering, and I can't, the past has happened. The present is happening now, what you do now. If you turn and face your fears, if you call on help and guidance from the spiritual realm and tap into where the joy and the happiness is, if you make these new connections, you can change this. If you don't turn and face your fears, if you don't embrace who you are and love who you are, then this is where you end up. And so the decisions that you make now, this is the future. The future hasn't happened, and the future is so malleable, and it can be changed so much by what you do. But here we have, you need to do some self-reflection and tap into your truth. You have the word truth here. You have aligning your heart and your soul. You are being asked to remove the mask that you have with yourself because it's in the heart space. You need to dig into who you are so you can climb that holy mountain to who you are. The winds of change are blowing. I've been saying that things were going to change. It's how we manage the change that matters. Taurus, change your, oh gosh. If it is the members of your family that you are thinking about and what they think about you and what they feel about you, and so you feel like you have to hide them from them who you really are because you're playing it safe, because you don't want to make a change and you feel like you're a victim of your life, you're going to be stuck in this energy for a lot longer than necessary. You can change the future. I really hope that you make these choices for yourself. Because when the outcome is playing it safe and victim mentality, and the current action is fear, you're being called to call on. You have to ask for help. We have free will. We have free will. So you can choose to ask for help. But they can't help you unless you ask. And if you don't know who to ask for, you say, Dear Creator, come and help me co-create a life that fills me with joy and happiness. And right now, you have some time on your hands. I will put in the description box below Nancy. She does long distance healing. Reiki healing can happen that way. Honest to God, it's just energy that moves around. And so she's very affordable if you're worried about that. I think a Skype session is like, it's less than, I think it's $25 Canadian. So allow her to come and help clear some of these blockages and some of these attachment things, clear some of that energy out. Move the energy around. Get outside and go for a walk and move your energy around. This conflict, this is this inner turmoil that's going on inside of you because you're playing it safe and you're thinking you're some kind of a victim, like you're stuck where you are. I keep seeing that with Taurus, and I thought you were making progress, but now I look at this and I think, maybe not. Aries got this card. It's sleep. I think I'm going to see this card a lot today because the world is on a pause. The world is on a break. The world is taking time, and you're being asked to tap into your dream space, to tap into what is your really and your truly and your heart's desire, to align your heart and your soul. And also to rest, to literally rest, physically rest, Take care of your physical body, right? The physical card showed up. Are you taking care of yourself physically? Are you overworked? This is a chance to rejuvenate, to get in touch with yourself, to step away from the world and their expectations of you. And what is it that you want? What do you want to create for yourself? You can fly high if you just let yourself. See the dragonfly up here? Dragonflies represent transformation of the spiritual nature. Getting in contact with who you are, getting in contact with the Ascended Masters, with your spiritual team, with however you want to call the Creator, and start co-creating a better paradigm for yourself. That is when we can do things, when you can do things, where you flip this up and you start telling the truth to yourself, speaking your truth, believing in yourself. When you decide you're not a victim, when you decide to take the risk, to go out there and co-create your life in a way that aligns your heart with your soul. When you stop worrying about what other people are thinking and start worrying about what brings you the joy and the happiness and what really matters to you. I don't know who you're supposed to call, but you have prompting. Call a friend today. And this card here says new connections, supportive connections. This is an opportunity to reconnect with the people that you have been too busy in the material world. There's someone you need to talk to. Call a friend that you haven't spoken to in a while who really knows you, who will listen to you, who, when they speak, you know they're speaking from the heart, that they will speak honestly with you, that they will speak kindly and lovingly with you. We all have those friends somewhere, and maybe you haven't spoken to them in a while. Hit them up on Facebook. Give them a call if you have their phone. Do what you need to do to reach out and reconnect with the people in your life that support you and love you for who you are, no matter what you do or don't do. Those are the people you need to be connecting with. You need to find that joy again. I feel like you've been going through the motions and not really taking care of yourself. I'm going to pull an affirmation card here for you. I am going to tell you that what I heard earlier today for Aries, I'm going to repeat it for you because I think it's important. I am because I am. The great I am is the great creator. The one we co-create with through our choices, through our free will choices, what we decide to focus on, where we decide to place our efforts, where we put our thoughts, we create that, right? We create our own world. So if you are going to leave yourself stuck in a victim mentality, you're going to create situations that allow you to remain a victim. I am because I am. Your life is the result of your co-creation of that life. And anytime you want, you can change that. You just have to make the decision to do so. Okay, so you have friendliness, call a friend, and you have power. All right? Reach out and talk to your friends, but then the power says, I'm strong. Oh, this is a Taurus card. And look at this. I get it. It looks like Nessie on only has a dragon. Okay. As a dragon on a tank. Taurus, right? Taurus has a very physical appearance. I can usually pick out a Taurus in a crowd. There's certain things about him. There's the broad shoulders. There's the strength, the upper body, the chest, the bull, right? And so it says, I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. Stand with your feet hip width distance apart. Really feel down into your ground. Anytime you're in a situation where you just needed that pause, that breath, that reconnection with who you are, ground down into the earth and just stand there and stand still. I notice the Tauruses, when they're stressed, they start to sway. Hold yourself firm. Make yourself do it. Breathe your way through it. I am strong. I am grounded. I am powerful. I am like a cross between a dinosaur and a tank, but not a tank that is used for war. I am like a peaceful, loving dino-tank who feels so strong it doesn't need to do anything but be. It doesn't need applause. It doesn't need the rest of the world to approve of you. You just need to be who you are, because who you are is more than enough. Who you are is more than enough. Another affirmation. I am more than enough. I am more than enough. All right, Taurus? I will be back a lot. I'm going to try to come on every day that I can for a while. I'm not working. I have time. So we're going to walk through what's going on for the day as far as astrologically, and we're going to be talking about things like, I was told, spirit animals, numerology, cycles. I don't know what else Spirit's going to have me chat about, but hey, we'll be here. We'll hang out. Call a friend today. Call a friend. Just catch up. Start there. Call someone that you know accepts you for who you are. You are more than enough, and you are a dino-tank. All right, you take care. We'll talk soon.